Hey everyone, hope you all are doing well this weekend. Just wanted to talk today about Angel's Egg. It's a 1985 anime movie by Mamoru Oshii, who you might know from the original Ghost in the Shell anime movie from the 90s. And this movie also features designs by Yoshitaka Amano, who would go on to do the art for most of the Final Fantasy games. So, Angel's Eggs has been on my anime bucket list for a very long time. I've been wanting to watch it and just haven't had the chance to because I've heard so many interesting things about it. And last year, it actually got a 4K remaster in theaters for a limited time, but unfortunately, I wasn't able to make it out to a theater in time, but luckily I found it on HBO Max, so I watched that last week and just want to share my thoughts on it. It's not going to be like a review per se because the movie itself has a very bare bones plot. It's like a hair under 70 minutes and but I'll just get into it right now. So the basic premise of the movie is it follows this girl in what appears to be a post-apocalyptic city. She's essentially the only one who is left alive, and you kind of just see her like kind of going through her like little routine and collecting water in these like little glass jars, and essentially the city she lives in, it looks like it was abandoned like long long ago and from like a war or something, and she's carrying this egg with her, and she eventually meets a boy who seems to be some kind of hunter. He's carrying a weapon that looks very much like a cross, and his hands are wrapped to give the impression that he suffers from stigmata. So there's a lot of Christian al- uh, imagery in this movie, and basically the boy is curious about what's inside the egg that the girl carries and wants to break it open. So and the girl doesn't want to, like she's just holding on to it like it's hoping that it will hatch one day. So and that's the basic premise of the movie. I'm not going to go further into any more spoilers on it. It's really something you have to watch for yourself. But the movie has a lot of religious symbolism, especially with Christianity. The boy talks about at one point about the story of Noah's Ark and how he sent out a dove to see if the floods had ended, and it's kind of implied that the world the boy and the girl live in is from a reality. They're in a reality where the, the dove never came back to Noah, so humanity is essentially kind of re formed itself out of the ark and just spread from there. So, but it's almost very much like a Rorschach test for 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 yourself, because I've seen some very different interpretations of the movie, and here's where I'm going to go into spoilers. So when I had watched this initially, I thought the movie was a bit of an allegory for purgatory, because my rationale is at the beginning of the movie, you see the boy walking along and he encounters this giant orb thing that has like different statues of people on it. And the girl, and then he meets the girl with the egg, and he eventually like smashes it, and you never see what's inside. I mean, that's not really the point. But the girl eventually, you know, she chases after the boy and winds up dying in the process. And then at the end of the movie, you see her as a statue, and she has essentially joined the other people statues on the giant orb eye thing. So that's my interpretation of the movie, is that essentially they're in purgatory. The girl is holding on to this egg, and it kind of is like her last remaining like earthly desires that are kind of keeping her from moving on to the next plane of existence. And the boy smashing the egg kind of frees her from that purgatory and allows her to move on to join the other statue people. So it's kind of like the eye is essentially heaven. So that's just my interpretation. But I did see a video by a YouTube channel called The Almighty Lolly, and he suggests that, and I'm not going to go into the video, redo his video completely, because you should watch it for yourself. It's really good. Because he suggests that his theory is the girl is essentially the dove that Noah had sent out, but she had forgotten who she truly was. And by the boy breaking the egg, it kind of restores her memories, and it also, after she essentially dies, the world starts to kind of come back to life again. It's like throughout the movie you see it's mostly raining in the city they're in. So once the egg is broken and the girl dies, it stops raining. So it's almost kind of like hope is starting to kind of come back to the world. And another aspect of the movie I forgot to mention, and kind of given credence to my theory that it's essentially purgatory, is there's a sequence in the movie where you're seeing like nameless fishermen who just kind of come out of nowhere, and you see them chasing these shadows of fish. Like you see these giant fish shadows who are kind of essentially swimming throughout the city, and you see them the fishermen like throwing like spears at the fish and trying to like catch them. And that's kind of just my interpretation of, people like still chasing after their earthly desires and unwilling to let go, because you don't see anyone else in the city up until this point besides the girl and the boy. So again, that's just kind of my interpretation of the movie. So, but it's almost like a Rorschach test, like I said earlier. It's just there's a lot of Christian symbolism and allegories in this, and it is, as a recovering Catholic, it is very refreshing to kind of see like a Japanese movie that deals with Christianity that's just kind of giving you the symbolism and just kind of letting you make your own interpretations of it. It's not trying to like condemn Christianity. It's just kind of just using the symbolism and allegories to kind of tell a story. So, as you can kind of guess, this isn't exactly the kind of movie that you'll want to put on at like a crazy rambunctious party with your other fellow weebs, but it it's just something you would just kind of sit down, watch, and just let the music and the visuals and just let the world absorb you, and watch it for yourself and see what interpretations you come up with, because obviously mine is purgatory. But again, you can see all kinds of different things in this movie. So is it a great movie? I don't know about that, but it is definitely an experience. And I liken it to the end of Evangelion and the Revolutionary Girl Utena movie, where it's almost like essential, like, bucket list anime just to check off because you don't really see this kind of stuff anymore in modern day anime. So definitely worth checking out. Again, it's barely 70 minutes and you can actually find uploads for free on YouTube. So yeah, so that is going to be my video for this month. But because I had mistakenly double booked myself, I am going to be doing the Super Mario anime movie from the 80s later this month. So, keep an eye out for that. But as always, thank you again for watching my videos. I really do appreciate it. Even if you just leave it a like or even a comment, I appreciate it. And just remember to take care of yourself and each other, check up on each other, because YouTube and all this stuff is just temporary, but we are not. We are here in the moment, and it's important that we look out for each other. So take care, and I'll see you guys in the next video.